Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a slightly different angle, I suppose, just view in general. And today I'm going to go through and put books on my vibe cart. So for those of you who haven't heard, which is actually, I believe most of you, because we just came up with this a couple weeks ago, a vibe cart is something that we've decided to create mostly for me because I am a very, very unpredictable mood reader. So generally speaking, I never know what I want to read next. I don't know. I might have an inkling of a genre that I want to read, and I might not. I might just look at a book and be like, that one, and that's the book that I'm going to read next. I really don't have a way that I go through trying to figure out what I want to put on, or what I want to read next, what I want to put on my TBRs. That's the reason I do the TBR game, is to give me some sort of direction, but that doesn't always work. So, for when I picked books for my TBR that I am not feeling when it comes to reading them, I have a vibe cart, so that way I can follow the vibes. Callie came up with the name, so credit goes to Callie for that name, and let's get started because I did have books on here, but I need to reorder them a bit. I had them in an order that I just kind of threw together at the time, and so we've got them all piled up before me, and we're going to go through them. They're kind of generally going to be in a want to read more / need to read sooner versus I'd like to read these eventually. There's stuff in here. I'd like to read eventually kind of thing. So, gosh, where do we start? Well, let's start with what was on the top shelf before. And let's go with that one. Alright, so I'm not going to be grouping these by genre or anything, but I am going to make sure that there are multiple genres on each shelf. So actually, weirdly enough, first I'm going to put on here is A Lust for Blood by K.C. Smith. This is a vampire story. I believe it's actually a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde loose spin-off where a main character is this female right here. She is a vampire, and the male love interest, I think he is, because I think this is also a romance, he's a vampire hunter. So this is going to go right here. Front, top, center. Well, not center, front, top on the end. Next, we're going to add in one kind of for Hannah, Culty by Mariana Zapata. No, I haven't read this. It's a soccer romance. It's been everywhere. Everyone loves it, so I do have it up here on the list. Let's see. Next, we're going to do a romance. We've got Flirtosaurus by Erin Malone, who is a lovely human being. Can't wait to read this one. It is an astronomer and a paleontologist romance. I'm going to give Riley Sager one more chance, and we're going to try The Only One Left. I believe this is a haunted house. They have to all spend the night inside of a haunted house in order to win a fortune. I don't know. I might be wrong, but all I can think of whenever I think of that is the Scooby-Doo episode, so if you know, you know. Next, we're going to toss up Helena Hunting, Kiss My Cupcake, and I'm so excited for this. I believe it is Axe Throwing Bar, and then she makes boozy cupcakes next door. And I just want that store to be, like, in my city, please, because I would visit that all the time. Probably too much. They'd know me by first name. Next, we're going to add in When Women Were Dragons by Kelly Barnhill. I think this sounds absolutely fascinating. It is a book that I picked up pretty recently, and I'm very excited. Apparently, in 1955, hundreds of thousands of women spreaded wings, scales, and talons and took to the sky. And that's it. Alright, then next, we're going to add in a couple more romance. We're going to add in Throttled by Lauren Asher. I do want to get started on this series. I have been recommended this a couple times, and it is Formula One racing romance is what I know about it, and I'm excited. Also, Callie won't stop talking about it, so that's a thing. Right up with that, I am going to add in Twisted Love by Anna Huang, because I have not yet read this series. That's it. I've also got The Island by Natasha Preston. I did start this book at one point. It is a YA thriller, so I'm going in slightly hesitantly, but I am still excited to give this one a shot and see what I end up thinking about it. A bunch of influencers are invited to a new theme park on an island, and that's all I know about it. Next one I got is going to be She Started It by Sian Gilbert. I've heard mixed reviews on this one, but basically it's a long-term revenge story. So a woman's getting back at her high school bullies or something like that. So I'm intrigued. Next, we're going to add No Gods, No Monsters by Cadwell Turnbull. This is the first book that I have gotten from Twisted Retreat, and I want to try and keep up on reading these books this time. I have been terrible at keeping up with reading my BookBox books, so this is going to be an attempt to try and keep up. This is all about gods starting to appear in a town, or in our modern world, and trying to figure out why. This next one is going to be The Last Chance Library by Freya Sampson. This is about a woman in a small town who works at a small town library that is in danger of being shut down, and she has to gather up the courage in order to stand up and speak out about why this town needs libraries. As someone who works in libraries, I think this is very important. Next one, I have The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. This is a marshal and an undertaker, I believe. It's a longer story. I believe there's some fantasy. I don't really know, but I think I've heard that it's very fun, and it was recommended to me by a bookseller. Next one I've got on here, I'm going to be adding Pestilence by Laura Thalassa. This is the first book in the Four Horsemen Quartet. I got this back when we went to a Polycon last year, so in 2022. And she's a lovely human being, and I do want to read her book. So I'm intrigued by this one. I'm intrigued by how they're going to make the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse a romance. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm curious, though. You have my attention. Looks like I have room for one more book up here, so we're gonna add The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. All I know is that our main character is a housekeeper at for a very rich family, and she basically, it goes like Knives Out, is what I've heard. So I'm intrigued. I loved that movie. I really enjoyed it a lot. Alright, so these are the books that I would really like to get to soon. If I don't, it happens, but these are some really high up priority books for me. Alright, let's move on to the next shelf now, shall we? Alright, so the first one I'm going to add to the second shelf is less of a you need to read this now and more of a reminder I need to read this or reread this, and that's going to be the first book in Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood. So I read this book. I actually have started it for the second time as well. It's got a little bit of water damage to it, which makes me unhappy. But basically, this is a reminder that I need to read all of Sarah J. Maas. I have read Throne of Glass, and I have read House of Earth and Blood. That is all I have read by her. I started ACOTAR, and I did not like it. But on request, and the fact that I really enjoyed Bryson Hunt, and Rune, mostly Rune, let's be honest here, I apparently now need to read everything. And I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about that. I'm not exactly happy about it, but it is what it is, I guess. So, yes, this is my reminder, I need to read them all. It's like Pokemon, you gotta catch them all. You gotta read them all now. Gods, I'm a nerd. Alright, so, going off of that one, we're going to add in A Promise of Fire by Amanda Boucher. So this is the first book in the Kingmaker Chronicles, which I believe is a trilogy, all about a woman with magical powers that are enough that she could overthrow a king, and a guy who hunted her down to try and get her to do something else. So, yes, I hear it's romance, I hear it's good, I hear it's a lot of fun, and I really liked Amanda Boucher. She is such a lovely human being. So I would like to read this. We met her at Polycon as well. Alright, next book, I'm gonna add Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I did start this book. This is a secondhand one. It is quite beat up. I have started this book more than once. In fact, I have tabbed already once. I tabbed one thing in the first like 20 pages of this book. Yeah, in the first 15 pages. So I started this, but I got distracted probably and never finished it. So I do need to actually read this, and I do want to read this duology. I have yet to find a V.E. Schwab book that I did not like, so I do want to get into it. I just read one of her books actually. This is apparently the red shelf now. Let's change that. How about we do that? Let's change it. And the next one I grabbed was almost red again. Next one we're going to grab is going to be A Marvelous Light by Freya Marski. It's not red on the spine, it's fine. This is a male-male romance where one is in the magical world and one is not. And the guy who's not is sent as an intermediary between the two communities, and he doesn't know anything about the magical world, and supposedly it's adorably delightful. So, yes. Okay, it's a little too close. Whatever. Next one I'm going to put on is The Hollow Gods by J. Verana. I feel bad 'cause I don't actually remember this off the top of my head what this is about, but I did meet AJ Verana and I absolutely loved her. She was so much fun to talk to. We actually had a quick conversation, and so I got these books with the half-naked people on them. But she did just re-release her covers with something different in them, I think. I don't remember what the deal is with this one. Check out the Poly Company. But I do have both books in this series. The other one is... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where are you? Where'd it go? There it is. The Echoed Realm is the second one. I believe this is about a guy who wakes up next to a dead body and is trying to figure out what happened because he doesn't remember. So, intrigue there. Sticking with the dark romance because I can, we're going to add Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton onto this list. Yes, I have read this. I'm gonna read it again though. I'm gonna read it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I read this like in small bursts when I first read it all the way through, and I don't know that I actually counted it as reading it because I think I forgot to put any information down. Oh, this book though. I have a second one, so don't worry. I can jump right into it. But yes, I will be reading this year, I hope. Maybe not. I don't know. It's almost the end of the year. Don't tell me that. That's bad. I got my dark romances here. Next one, I'm going to add a lighthearted romance, and we've got My Lucky Number 13 by Piper Rain. This follows a hockey player who... He sleeps with a girl, and then the next day he scores a hat trick in the first game after New Year's Eve. A hat trick is 3 goals in one game, and he goes and finds this girl and is like, we need to sleep together again because I got really lucky when I slept with you. And that's the whole premise of this book. And I want to imagine the girl just being like, what the actual dude? Are you okay? Are you on something? You might be on something. I don't know. I just feel like it's hilarious. So, yeah. Well, the whole thing I think is that he's trying to find her. But yes, so this is apparently the first book in a series. It's called Hockey Hotties. Got this book for free at a Polygon. Excited. Next book I'm going to add is a little bit different, but I'm going to add Shark Heart, a love story by Emily Haybeck. This was one of my book of the months for last month. I'm really excited though for August because this is the story of a man who is slowly turning into a shark. That's what I know about it. I think it's from the point of view of his wife or something, but I'm intrigued. Very curious. I'm gonna read it at the same time as When Women Were Dragons. See what happens. Alright, next book I've got on my list is going to be Skin Deep by Kimberly Kincaid. I have 2 complete series by Kimberly Kincaid and a direction from her directly of where to go next. So I need to start it. This is the first book in the Station 17 series of all about the firefighters. Yeah. Next one we're gonna add in is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. This is a female romance, and I haven't read nearly enough of these. I don't know a lot more about it, but from what I remember hearing, it's adorable, and yes, and just the two people on the cover make me happy, because they're adorable. I judge books by covers. I don't know what you're talking about. Next book I'm going to add in is I'm going to add From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, because I haven't read it yet. And I need to understand the references everybody's making, I guess. But honestly, I have heard that I will enjoy this series, and that it's intriguing, it's fun, and it's violent. So I'm intrigued. It's also very long. Well, I don't know if it's long or if there's just multiple series. I don't really know what's going on with JLA's books. I'm not going to lie. I got room for at least 2 more books. I'm going to add The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This is one of Callie's favorite books, I believe. And this one is signed. This one, we met K.A. Tucker at ApolloCon. She was very lovely. And this is about a girl who travels up to Alaska and ends up meeting a bush pilot. So, yes. She travels up to Alaska to meet her father, if I recall correctly. So, yes. This is a longer video. I hope you brought a snack. Next book I'm actually going to put in here is going to be The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sanguman Mandana. This book has been recommended to me actually by people. I do want to read it. This is found family with magic, and it sounds adorable. My friend Ashton just finished it not too long ago, and she highly recommended it. So I'm gonna give it a shot, see what happens, see what I think. I have room for All Systems Red by Martha Wells. I'm gonna add this one to my list because it's a short book, and it's all about an AI who's addicted to TV shows and dramas and stuff. I think the AI starts developing emotions or something of the sort, but I do want to get more into this kind of stuff. This sounds so interesting and so different, and I've heard honestly nothing but great things. Alright, I've got my remaining books here. I hope they all fit. If they don't, we'll figure something else out. We're going to put on, first we're going to put on Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I got 2 sci-fi kind of in a row. I kind of wanted to put this one higher up, but we're going to leave it here for now. I love their writing when they write together. I really enjoyed Illuminae. I need to reread that series, and this one I just haven't read yet. So, I think I have them all. I do. I have all 3 of them, so I need to read them. They're up on top of my bookshelf. Alright, next one we're going to go with a romantic comedy, and that's going to be A Love Catastrophe by Helena Hunting. I need to read Helena Hunting's books, but this one I'm just so excited for a cat-themed romance book. She's the cat whisperer, and he basically has a cat that doesn't like him. Next one, I'm going to do Kiss and Don't Tell by Megan Quinn. This is a hockey romance again. And it's all about a girl who who gets stranded and ends up at a cabin where there's a whole hockey team or something, and they think she's a serial killer. And I think it sounds hilarious. And Megan Quinn, it's a wonderful romance. I love them. So yes, I'm excited. Next, we're going to add in A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher, because I need another T. Kingfisher book. This one is magical, and all I remember is that the main character has a sourdough starter as her familiar. Yes. Next, I'm going to add in The Stand-In by Lily Chu. This is a book that I got in Unplugged several months ago, probably almost a year ago. Basically, it's about a girl who gets mistaken for a famous actress, and then the actress requests that they do an exchange where they swap lives for a little while, and she finds out what it's like to be rich and famous, basically. I don't think this is a series. I think it's just one book. I don't know, though. Because she just came out with another one that I thought I saw the same character's name, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm imagining things. So I don't know. Next, we're going to go in for The Heartbreak, and we're going to read Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan, which is, I think one of the main characters, Archer doesn't talk, I believe. is how it works. Next book I'm going to put on there is The Infinity Courts by Akemi Dawn Bowman. I don't remember what this one's about, I'm not going to lie. But honestly, it's one that was picked out for me because of the cover, and I can't disagree with that. It is a freaking gorgeous cover. Next one we're going to add on here is going to be a sequel, and that's Rise of the Snake Goddess by Jenny Elder Moak. This is the second book in the, what are we calling it? What is it called? What is it called? The Samantha Knox series. Samantha Knox is basically a teenaged version of Indiana Jones and a female, and in the 1940s? Something like that. Mythology that comes to life. It's great. I enjoyed the first one because it was exactly what I expected. And I wanted that, and I loved it, so yes. Downside about this card is that, like, my hardcovers I had to tuck in sideways because they don't really fit. Yes. Next book we're putting on, there's another sequel, and that's The Archive of the Forgotten by A.J. Hackwith. I might have to reread The Invisible Library before this one. But I don't know what this second one's about, but I really enjoyed The Invisible Library, which follows the caretaker of Hell's Library, which is the library in Hell where all unfinished and where all the unfinished books end up, and they try to come to life in Hell. Next one I got is The Kinder Poison by Natalie May. This one was picked by Callie. I'm also very excited about this one. I love this cover. It's just very vibrant, and I believe it is about I have no idea what it's about. I don't remember. I picked this one up a long time ago. And next one is going to be Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellefleur. This is a book I also took to a Polycon, but this is a female-female relationship. I believe it's fake dating. Yeah, it's about a free-spirited astrologer who agrees to a fake relationship with an uptight actuary with results not even the stars could predict. So it sounds adorable is really what I'm getting. All right, next I am going to be adding Hell Followed With Us by Andrew Joseph White. This is a apocalypse story that involves a cult, a trans boy, Armageddon, and bioweapons. Yes. The last book that I'm going to fit on here, I think, is going to be another book of the month, and that's going to be The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. This was one that I did as an add-on a while ago, but I really enjoy Simone St. James' work. I think it's very unique, I think it's very fun, and it's always told in at least dual timelines, so I'm not sure what this one's about, but I would love to find out. And that's the vibe cart. So this is what I have on my vibe cart for now. I hope that actually made sense. I don't know if it actually did or not, but let me know if the concept of a vibe cart here makes sense to you guys, and if you guys use something similar, or if you just stand in front of your bookshelves and stare at it until something starts yelling at you, I sympathize. This was my attempt to not have that happen, but we'll see. It may not happen. But I hope you enjoyed. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You know the drill. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep reading. Bye!